Welcome to the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 54 of The Joy of Coding. I'm pretty sure this is episode 54. I've kind of lost count. When we skip episodes, we don't actually, keep using the same, we don't reuse the number of a skipped episode. We just increment it. And so I've kind of lost track because last week I was missing. A last minute meeting showed up in my calendar. I couldn't skip it. I had to go, and so unfortunately I couldn't do the joy of coding. But here we are with, I believe, episode 54. Hopefully, if you're watching this, you're watching it, and if you're watching it live, you're able to watch this without Flash. That's pretty cool. I'm really happy with all the work that the folks on Air Mozilla, specifically Richard Miliuski, have been doing to make that possible. So thumbs up. Now, just quick sanity check. This is today's agenda. I'm just going to make sure I'm recording and that my mic is working properly. And hey, we got sounds. Fantastic. So this agenda that I'm looking at is supposed to be kind of my roadmap. If this is your first time watching The Joy of Coding, you're already no, if you've seen this before, you already know what's going on. But for the new people, this agenda, this roadmap might be useful to you. It might sort of let you in on some of the acronyms I'm using. There are some interesting links in here. So if you want to get yourself a copy of this, and it updates itself live as I edit it, so you can kind of follow along. Scroll down in this page where it says additional links, and there should be a link to the agenda here. Or if you're on YouTube, it'll be in the description of the video somewhere. So here's the agenda. And here's the thing. Just a couple minutes ago, I had an item in here for something I wanted to do, but I had to remove it because it turns out that I have a Windows virtual machine on this computer. And I wanted to do some work in Windows for the first time ever, at Joy of Coding first. But my build is busted. The build infrastructure I have is kind of crufty and old, and I need to update it. So maybe we'll do that next week. I thought it was going to work out, but it didn't. So I only found that out 4 minutes ago. That's why the episode started a little bit late. And so I'm coming up with something new to work on. So here's my browser. Wait, hold on a second. I forgot to switch cameras. Shoot. So this is the agenda I was referring to for the new people. Shoot. Everything was going so well. Thankfully, we didn't miss too much. But this agenda is the key thing that I'm gonna be following. And there was an item up here, and I removed it, and so I'm gonna put a new item in. I found this bug to improve the perceived session store duration. Excuse me. This is something I think I looked at not too long ago, and let's take a look at it again because this is an ETNS perf bug. And let me see. I think I have a note here. I'm gonna get the public link to the note that I have for the bug. And here's the other thing. Evernote has this feature that allows me to bump up the font size, which is nice. So I'll be doing that because I've heard feedback that the font size bumping I was doing from the last couple of episodes was a good idea. So I'm going to keep doing that. Another thing I've noticed is that there's this little bit of stuff leaking out the side of my camera there, and that there's this dark shade, this here, I'm gonna try and make the green screen stuff better because it's not working nicely. Yeah, chroma key there, a little bit better. Let's see, that's probably a little bit better. Although my forehead might become transparent at times. We'll see. I don't know if that white I'm seeing off my dome is seeing through through my forehead, through my skin. Yeah, it might be. It looks like it. Kind of hilarious, I think. I have no idea. Anyways, this is the bug I want to work on. Improve perceived session restore duration. And if it turns out we get blocked on this, I have some reviews I can do. There's this review I've got in my queue that we could take a look at. Right, so let's get down to business.
Here we go!
So this is a bug from 2 years ago, but it was put back in my lap because it turns out that, well, how do I explain this? Whenever you first restore your session restore, like when you restore your tabs, um, we don't do a really good job of making it look like it's occurring quickly, because one of the things that's missing oftentimes is the favicon. Like the favicon um, is missing. So like, let me show you an example. Do I have a? Let's like, I'm gonna create a session with lots of tabs. I'll go to Reddit, I'll go to CBC, I'll go to my blog, I'll go to Mozilla.org, I'll go to CNN.com, I'll go to some other sites, reviewboard.org, and Hacker News. So here are all these sites. Now keep an eye on these tabs whenever I restart my session, because I'm going to restart right now. Actually, you know what I should have done is done this not with my like, I should do this with a build, my actual build, and not my like default profile. But like, pay attention to the background tabs here. So no favicons, and then they kind of show up at the end there. It's this kind of slow, janky process. And what's kind of related is if my content process crashes, like I can crash the content process if I enable my Tab Crasher add-on. Where's Tab Crasher? Tab Crasher. So if I enable Tab Crasher, go away password prompt. Where's Tab Crasher? It's right here. If I crash the browser, keep an eye on these favicons. Wow, they stick around. That's interesting. Oh, I know why. Hold on a second. I have to restore all these tabs. So let me go browse to all these tabs. Okay, so all these are now loaded. Whoop. And I'm going to crash this tab. Crash. And now notice all of these, all the favicons went away, which is annoying. And the reason they went away is because they're sort of in this unrestored state where we like, those background tabs all crashed, so we like swapped out the browsers and we kind of like put them in this unrestored background state, so that when you click on them, then we finally restore the content, and then when we do that, we get the favicon. But that's like not great. If anything, we should definitely have the favicon stick around. I mean, we have that information. We know that information. There's not really a good reason to throw that information away. So it's kind of sloppy. So part of my job here, I think, part of this bug is to fix that. So what does Tim say? This is 2 years ago. He says, we send a message to restore the history, and only after that is done, the parent receives a message and sets the tab label and icon. And so only after the message comes back do we set the icon. So if we were to set the icon earlier, that'd be good. And then there's also this point of like, well, how can we do that if we've had the tab crash in the background? And is that like a special case that we need to consider? So I have some notes here from the last time I looked at this, and I talked about needing to truly, hang on, let me bump up the font size here. Needing to truly understand the life cycle of a tab favicon, how it gets there, when it gets stored, when it gets overwritten. So when you visit a site for the first time, how does the favicon get set? The reason I'm reading this out is because I need to remember all this stuff. I don't actually remember. That's why I take these notes. So tab gets created, a tab progress listener gets created for it, and that listener has an on-state change handler that checks to see if a network stop has occurred. If so, it looks to see if the current browser has an micon URL set. If not, it sets to the default, which is nothing. Okay. Content link handler notices a DOM link added, DOM link changed event with the rel value equal to icon. This sends a sync message to the parent link set icon. I see. Now, how about in this scenario, when we restore a tab from last time, how does the favicon get set? That's a good question. We can actually find that out if we use our browser debugger. So let me recreate that scenario. Here's what I'm going to do. I start up my browser. I'm going to make sure that I have E10S enabled because I think I disabled it in this profile. Okay, so my browser's all set up. I've got E10S enabled. And what I want to do is I'm going to go to a bunch of sites like I did before. So I've got these 3 sites open. Bam, bam, bam. And now I'm going to shut the browser down. Oh, I'm also going to configure the browser to not... Yeah, it's going to show my home page by default, so that when I restart the browser, it doesn't restore my session by default, but it'll show me a button that allows me to restore the session. And then I can set a breakpoint before that occurs, because I have my browser toolbox. My browser toolbox will allow me to track what's going on favicon wise, because in tab browser.xml tab, wait, I have to go into the debugger, that's what I need to do. Tab browser, can I bump the font size in here? Why I can, yes indeed. So hopefully that's a little more readable. What do I want to do? In tab browser.xml, I'm looking for mtab icon? Icon. Yeah, icon URL. So there's a set icon. Set icon. I'm going to set a breakpoint on set icon to see what calls this. So now I've got my browser. Where's my browser? My browser crashed on me. That sometimes happens when I have the debugger attached. That's very annoying. Especially because I just had it where I wanted it. Tab browser. Set tab icon. Set icon. So here's where I'm going to put my breakpoint. Whoop, whoop. And now I'm going to restore the session. And right away, I have a breakpoint here. Where's my call stack? I've received a message. So I'm inside the receiving of a message. And the message is what in the scope? Message.name. Message.name? Message? Where am I? This URI function scope, a message. Restore history complete has come back. And there my browser crashes again. But restore history complete comes, and there's an icon that comes with it. And I think this is what Tim was trying to fix. So let's take a look at his patch for a second here. So inside Session Store, where are you? He's taken this chunk of code and he's moved it into a sort of a helper function, because I feel he's going to probably use it in a couple of different places. Update tab label and icon. And what it'll do is it will get the tab data from the browser, if it has any, and then set the tab data and icon, tab label and icon with it. If we restore the selected tab, make sure it goes first. If selected index, this restore tab, make sure it goes first. This is actually a really, this is important. We always want to restore the selected tab first. That's very important. That will improve duration. And then here, when we've received the, I think I need to apply this patch to kind of see what's going on here. So let's apply this patch. We've got a tool we can do that. This is down in a Bugzilla bug patch. I use BZ import, which is a Mercurial extension. And it doesn't like it because I've got some uncommitted changes. I've got another project or I had a thing on the go here. Yeah, I was messing around with that. And what am I doing now? I am, where am I? Inbound, that's good, so I'll get rid of all that cruft I just put in. Meanwhile, I'm also interested in the results of a try push I did earlier. We'll see how that's going. But I'm gonna try importing Tim's patch again. Did my try push never go through? It never went through. Shoot. I better go find out why later. What a waste of time. Okay, so session store .jsm. Hunk failed all over the place, so let's figure out why. Let's unbitrot this patch. A bunch of stuff's busted with it. It's basically I have to hand apply this patch. So I'm going to look for this string. Oh, it's in 2 places. That's interesting. Oh, okay, so it partially applied. He was able to partially apply it. And then, is there any difference here? Active page data, title, label crop. Else if it's about blank, then the label is crop center. Okay. If we're in custom, okay, so this is new. Tab has customize mode. Then we do that. That's new. So I'm gonna have to put that in the tab label and icon. I have to put that in here. Active page data. Okay. And then what else do we have here? What else did he do? In his patch, he got rid of that and the restoring of the tab icon. And there's more stuff going on in there. So let me get rid of all of this now, actually, and replace it with this dot update tab label and icon, and then pass the tab. And then we'll look at the implementation here. Here's the stuff that we're kind of replacing. So we get the browser, we get the tab data. Okay, that's all fine. So all of that looks the same. I know I kind of did this, but I just want to make sure. That looks okay. And then there's this stuff. So this stuff needs to be updated. Okay. And then what else do we have here? He has this comment up here. Update tab. I guess that was already in there. Okay. And then that got added, and then in restore last session. Under if we restore the selected tab, make sure it goes first. Update the Windows state. That's in restored tabs now. This is all kind of changed. Some of this might be different now. Select tab. So this is where the code has been moved to. I'm just going to try dropping it in here. See what happens. Boop. And sure. And then all that stuff happens. And then they added this. So let's see what this does. I have no idea what's going to go on here, whether or not this is going to be a happy scenario or not. But we can find out. We can find out what state the patch is in. Just to see. Just to see. So already I'm seeing what, a session store error. Tab data was not found for a given tab. And it flips out. So that's no good. So instead of throwing, what if I just return? Let's just do this one thing to mess around. We're just gonna return instead of throwing. Let's see if we can recover. Okay, we kind of recovered, it looked like. And now what happens if I hit restore session? Nothing. I don't even get like any errors that are session related. Well, maybe my last session was corrupt. Let's find out. Let's do the experiment again where I like load a bunch of tabs and then quit. Alright, now we got one tab loaded. One tab. The other ones didn't get loaded for some reason. Until I click on them. What? What's going on there? So they were in an unrestored state. Maybe I can step through the... This is going to be a pain in the butt. Because I'm going to want to step through, but if the debugger keeps crashing, that's no good. Let me just see if I can understand this correctly. We restore, and after we restore, these do not get set. So that means that somewhere in the update tab label and icon thing in the restore tab case, I wonder if we're returning early. Let's find out. No tab data, returning early. Oh, nope. Oh. I wonder if I have to rebuild. I thought I would, but let's see. Yeah, I need to. Build faster, you. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, interesting. I'm not. Oh, here we go. Turning early. And then, do I have a stack? Yeah. There's no tab data. There's no tab data. So maybe instead of getting it from the browser, I should be getting it from the tab cache, because I'm pretty sure that's where we're keeping state now. Like SS data doesn't exist anymore. That's why. That's busted. So tab state dot collect, I think is what I want. Tab label. Tab data. And then tab data comes in. Tab data. It's Windows tabs. Do we ever? Tab state cache we update. And then we do that. So the tab state cache update, update, update. Tab state.collect is probably what we want. Update tab. Label an icon. Tab data equals tab state.collect tab. So yeah, this patch is from way back before there were other. Oh, interesting. Now another error. 2318. 2318. Here, win. There's no such thing as a win. Let win equals browser.owner global. That's what that is. That's the window that the thing belongs to is the owner global. Tracy wants to know what I'm working on. Working on bug, which is an ETNS P or perf P2. Did you? I'm asking Tracy, who's basically the engine behind QA behind E10S. I'm asking him if he has other suggestions for things I should work on instead. Okay, so I have a feeling I need to because I kind of had a shitty, a bad session restore earlier. I kind of have to recreate the state. So I'm going to quit. And I didn't need to build, but I'm doing it anyways. And now we run. Okay. So restore previous session. Okay, we got one icon here. We got the Reddit icon. We don't have a CBC one. But that's almost what we want. That's interesting that the CBC one didn't show up. But the Reddit one did. Now what happens if I crash the background tabs? I crash the background tabs. No favicon. I wonder, well, let's one thing at a time. Let's solve this first mystery. This last question is currently unanswered. So, question: why is there only one favicon restored with Tim Talbert's patch? I mean, I get the labels, but only the Reddit favicon showed up. What gives? So that's the first question. And let's see if I can reproduce that too. Like, what happens if I restore a window? Recently closed window. Then the tabs go away again. It's only the initial tab? Maybe it's only the initial one that gets the favicon. Let's find out. I'm going to put CBC on the left. CNN's on the right. Both of these are loading. There, that's done loading. Now I'm going to close this window again. Alright. Hypothesis is that the CBC one will load because it's the leftmost one. Yep. It's also the selected one, but let's see what happens if the leftmost one is not the selected one. I'm going to have the CNN one on the right, and Reddit's in the middle. Okay, that's good. Done loading. So the leftmost one is cbc.ca. What happens? Recently closed Windows. I know there's a keyboard shortcut I should probably be using. Hey, all right. So the leftmost one. So the original tab is always having its favicon set, which is interesting, but the second tab does not. Tracy says there's a delay. I'll bet by the time you hear this, there's been even more of a delay. You said that at, what, 1:29? I'm commenting at 1:31. You can, if you're interested in checking the delay, check out my clock here in the corner. It says it's about to go to 1:32, so you're probably hearing this in the future. And hello from the past. I'm talking to you in the future. So great. That's interesting. That's an interesting result. The leftmost one is always restored. And why is that? Let's do some more logging. I think. Let's see. Actually, I'm probably okay to do this now. Dump updating tab label and icon with data, and then JSON stringify the tab data. Okay. So restore. Now here's what's interesting. I'm interested in the CNN one because it's the CNN one that didn't have its tab icon updated. And it's the image that in particular, I'm interested in. Image for Reddit is null. That's interesting, except that I have one. The image for CNN is also null. Okay, so why? Oh, and hang on a second. There's an earlier one where I do have an image. So I'm calling like update tab label and icon with data several times. It looks like this first time I call it and there's an image, and then I call it immediately after and there's no image. So it's like I'm setting the icon and then I'm clearing the icon. What the F? Why is that? Let's find out. So what I can do, and I spelled updating wrong. That's annoying. But what I can do is I can get a stack. So I'll know why I was entering this function to begin with. So what I did there is I just create an error, like an error object, and then I dump out the stack string. And that will tell me where I am in the code when I hit that code, like what's on the stack. Okay, so a bunch of spews about to happen. And it's the CNN one I care about. Let's take a look at the CNN one. So here's the CNN one where it has no image, and then the CNN one where it does have an image. So the stacks are after I think after yeah, they're after. So I care about this one where there is no image, and where is it? CNN, no image. CNN. Shoot, you know what? I got into a bad state. I should have. There's like this cyclical problem where I need to get into a state. Here, let me do this all over again. I have to make sure that there's a favicon loaded here in order for session store to even have had a chance to restore it. So I kind of got into a bad state where I wasn't going to have useful information. So restore again, and we're looking for CNN. Here we are. CNN with image is null, and CNN with image is, so this is what we want. And the stack is after. So I'm going to copy this and this. I'm going to put this in my notes. What gives? It looks like I'm calling update tab label and icon twice. Here are the stacks. Update the tab label and icon, and the stack is restore tab, and then I do it again for receive message 784. 784 is doing it a second time. 784. .784 is right here. The restore history was complete, and after I've restored history, the tab image is null. Why is the tab image null after we've restored the history? Let's take a look at restore history complete. So do we receive like an update? Let's take a look at the side tab state. And collect. It's going to do what? It's going to do collect base tab data, which is down here. And where's the image stuff? If there's no image, after what's called store the tab icon. So tab icon, we get interesting. We try and get the icon. So let's dump getting icon for tab, or I should say got icon. Icon for tab, and then tab data dot image. And then let's do this again. So restore our tab. And now quit. Oh, no. Didn't mean to run. Gotta build first. Okay, and now run. Now restore. So CNN again is blank, and that's fine because I want to know why. So I'm glad. It's not like random. So we update the tab label and icon with the data. We set the icon to this. Then we do it again, but the icon for the tab is null. So why didn't we set the icon? Got icon for tab is null. Shouldn't we have set the icon? Update tab label and icon. Restore the image. So we should do this. Set icon. Browser, blah, 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 blah. And then the get icon gets the micon URL. and m icon URL is supposed to be set here. Dump setting icon for, so setting icon for browser at, and then we'll put out the URI it's at, to, and then browser to m icon URL. So more dumping. I wish I had my debugger, but you can't always get what you want because for some reason it's crashy. Kills my content process, or kills something. I don't know what's going on. I should talk to the DevTools people. That's not a good situation to be in. Okay, so CNN. What happens to you, CNN? Updating tab icon to that. Setting the icon at browser about blank to that. And then we set it to null for some reason. What? Why? So let's do a stack. I don't need the other stacks anymore. I can get rid of them. And I'll put like a separator here. I don't need the other stack, so I can get rid of that. Load CNN. Build faster. Restore. Okay, so we update the tab label. We want to set the icon from about blank to there, and that's our stack, where I expected it. And then we set it to null. Oh. We set it to null because we received a message in content restore. We're restoring history. This background tab is non-remote. It's default icon. Restore history. Content restore. 122. We stop the navigation. That causes the tab progress listener to notice that we stopped. And so here in 953, we set the icon to be like null because we've not gone anywhere. Okay. Interesting. Use default icon. I wonder what we could do is avoid setting the icon if the background tab is not yet restored. Is there a way we can like see whether or not it's restored or unrestored? Pending. If we find out it's pending. Pending. Browser set attribute pending is true. Tabs pending. Get rid of its pending attribute. Is there a way of, like a good way of reading the pending state? Browser.xml pending? No. Pending. So like one really hacky thing we could do, and we shouldn't, but like get browser for tab if browser.get attribute pending, and we just return. This is a really bad idea. It's too much knowledge, but let's see if it fixes it. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. Well, broke the world. I've got some bad syntax. 957. Oh. Whoops, I have a weird parentheses down here. I don't know where that came from. Yeah, that's what happened. I didn't get rid of this parentheses. Ruh-roh. I got disconnected from IRC. Is IRC down? Am I still on the internet here? Hopefully. Oh boy. Hopefully you folks can still hear me. Internet outage? Apparently I haven't, oh shoot. Oh shoot. No network. No network. Okay, folks who are watching this recording, I've like lost my network. I'm gonna disconnect and reconnect to the Mozilla network. There we go. Attempt. Hang on. Reconnect. Reconnect OBS. OBS. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Reconnect, reconnect. Do it now. Alright, for the people watching the recording, my network dropped. I've reconnected. Give me a moment. Stream should be back soon. Why is it taking so long to reconnect, OBS? Just reconnect now! Advanced, reconnect, retry delay. I don't know how long I was disconnected for. Anyway, for the people who are not watching the live stream, I'll keep going, and then when I reconnect, I'll bet everyone's seeing just a frozen me right now. CNN.com. Set that. Got an icon for tab is no. Set an icon for browser to about blank to that. I wonder if I flip the remoteness. Come on, connect. Am I still streaming? Is this working? Hello? Oh man. What's going on here? Come on. I might have to restart OBS. This is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to shut down OBS and restart. 1 second. So I'm going to have to join these videos together. What a pain. I'm back. Sorry about that. Well, I don't know what happened. The network just completely dropped on me. I had to shut down OBS. There was like bad things happened. Back. Stream should be back in a second. Sorry about that, folks. That was surprising. Okay, let me keep going though with what I was doing. Browser remoteness is what I suspect might be happening here. Dump. Updating remoteness. If you can hear me, do let me know. I hope everything's back. Yay, I'm back. Okay. Restore. No CNN. Why didn't we get CNN? So CNN comes in. We have its favicon here. We set the icon to that. But then if we try and get the icon, we're null. Oh, you know what? I've probably screwed myself here. Set the icon. We set the icon at 871. Whoops. 871. We set the icon. So the icon should be set. No problem. And then we attempt to get the icon for the tab, but it's null. Get icon. Got icon for tab. Got icon for tab, but it's null. If we try and get the icon. Oh, what? Yeah, why are we not able to get the icon? Browser, so here's the get icon method. If the browser we're trying to get the M icon URL. The hell? We don't flip remoteness. Whose icon do we set to? If it wasn't this browser, well, we set it. We set it from about blank to that. And we don't set it again. But we got it and it's null. Here we set it to null. But here we try and get it. Are we getting it for a different tab? Got icon for tab. Null. Hang on. I think there's some confusion in my logging. Let me tab.linked browser current URI.spec. Maybe that'll help. So now I've got some disambiguity. What's going on here? It's a weird mystery. So the CNN.com, we set the icon to be that. We set it to be that. And then the icon for it is null. What? But we set it. We set it. Browser at about blank. there's a browser at about blank that we're setting to that. And the icon for the tab is there anything else? So maybe something else is overwriting m tab icon. Here's what I'm going to do. M icon URL. That's the thing that's being overwritten. M icon URL. It's a field. I'm going to make it a property so like I can monitor who's setting name equals m icon URL. This is a little trick I learned when I was doing more front-end stuff. I'm going to comment that out, but I'm setting so setter wacky syntax, and then getter. I'm actually going to use this, but I'm going to give it this is where I'm actually going to do the storage. So setter this dot underscore m icon URL equals val, and then dump set icon URL to val, and then the stack, new error stack, and then return this dot m icon URL. I think that'll work. It's just a little trick to kind of monitor what's doing the setting of that icon, because maybe there's another part of the code base that's doing it. Okay, so we where's the CNN bits? CNN. So we have CNN here. There's no image. Why wasn't there an image? It's probably because it wasn't loaded. Shoot. Let's do that again. This time with feeling. Here we go. Restore. Okay. So CNN.com. We got our favicon here. And we set the icon. And then we set it for, yeah. So we actually do it. Here's us doing it. Set icon. And then we have an on location change message comes up. And that sends us to null. Aha, and the M tab progress listener. And that causes us to set it to null. M tab progress listener. In the on location change, last URI, where's M icon URL, and not triggered by push state or hash change if this.m browser, or if this.m browser dot get has attribute pending. So if not that, okay, that's that I would not ship that code. I want to see what I need to do in order to make this work. Well, no, don't. I need to build. Restore. Hey, there's my icon. Okay. Now what happens if I crash these background tabs? Will it do the same thing? Can I make it work? Yeah, I've got my background favicons. That's good. That's what I want. Okay. I think I understand. Let me do this again. That's good. I have to write down what I've learned so I don't forget it. But I think this will work. So like, I'm gonna quit. And now I'm gonna run again. Restore. And we've got our favicons right away. Great. Okay. Okay, so let's write, what did I learn? What have I learned here? Hopefully you can see what I'm typing here. Okay, I think I figured this out. We have some code in M tab progress listener that's doing the work of setting the tab icon at various points for things like on location change and what else? Let me quit and take a look at the changes I made. Where was the other place? And then use default icon. Where does use default icon get called? I think I had a stack for that in my Evernote already. Use default icon. Use default icon? No? Okay, well, I'll have one in here, I think. Use default icon. Here in state change when we receive a message. And on state change. Why are we even paying attention to these first messages? Is what I want to know. Like, on location change. Okay. Guess there's a good reason. For like a bunch of these, we don't do anything because of like we expect the initial browser to be blank, and so we like escape in certain conditions. If not, use default icon. Okay. We have some code in the progress listener that's doing the work of setting the tab icon at various points for things like the location change or state change. Like if we see state stop, then we use the default icon. If we can't produce one for our background tab, if we can't produce or can't generate a favicon for the tab that just stopped. For the about blank browsers that are being loaded in the background, for the about blank browsers that are being loaded loaded in the background but aren't being restored, we're reacting to the messages being sent up. We probably shouldn't. We probably shouldn't care about any messages that these background browsers are sending us. Okay, potential solution. So I'm trying to come up with different solutions on how I can, like, because the little hacky, the hacky stuff I put on, I would not want to ship that. There's too much information. That's like, I'm it's sloppy. It's sloppy. I feel like tab browser doesn't need to. It's too fine grained. There's the principle of least like need to know, I think is what it's called, or encapsulation. And the fact, I don't think tab browser needs to know about the pending state of browsers, or it shouldn't, if we can avoid it. What might be better is if we can just get rid of the mtab progress listener on these background tabs, so that we don't pay attention to them. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna try that. Okay. Try not having an mtab progress listener for unrestored background tabs. Let's see what that's like. So I'm going to revert all my changes here. Actually, what I'll do, just in case, I'm going to shelve them for now. So they've gone away. So all my changes are gone. And this mtab progress listener thing, when we construct the tab, there's two places, link browser to tab. I don't know if this is a good idea. It might be. Defend listener to the first browser. We could also like disable the tab progress listener for unrestored tabs. Instead of just not having it, we can disable it. How does the tab progress listener work? Tab progress listener. Can we just like neuter it? Can we say disable the progress listener if you are unrestored? Hope this doesn't break stuff. So like what about like m disabled false, disable Alright, M enabled is false. Enable. This M enabled equals true. On progress change. If not, this dot M enabled. Return. So this is just another sloppy attempt at addressing this. Okay, status change, not enabled, security change, and refresh attempted. Okay, so that when we put it in the unrestored state, what we could do is restore tab, browser, and tab progress listener disable, and then restore tab content. Browser enable. Let's see what that does. Oh shoot, you know what? I need to unshelve some things. Tim Talbert's patch, for example. I shouldn't have... What I really should do, instead of having shelved it, I need to get rid of my logging and stuff. Alright, so... because I need Tim's stuff. I'm going to keep all that for now. I'm going to get rid of the change I made. Use default icon. Get rid of that. And then what else? Keep that. Keep that. Keep that. Gonna get rid of this dump and tab state. And gonna get rid of that hackery I did in browser.xml. I can just revert that actually. So now I should just have, oh, I want to get rid of set icon, set icon. I've got like my crappy logging here. And then get rid of that. I think, nope. Nope. Where was that? Here. Okay, and then I got rid of that stuff. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Let's see what happens now. Did I just build twice in a row? I did. I kind of spaced out there. Let's run it. Let's see what happens. Tabs M tab progress listener is undefined. Oh. M tab progress listener is undefined. Tab listeners. I think I have to like get at it. Oh, this is going to be hacky. This is yet another hacky. A hacky thing. Tab browser dot get or tab listeners dot get browser dot enable. So that's no good. Can't ship that. Tab progress. And then, do I have tab browser here? Tab browser, yeah. Tab browser. Tab listeners.get browser.disable. That I can't keep, but I want to see if this technique will work. Maybe I can like build an API. Browser is not undefined. Whoops. 3270. Careful, Mike. Browser is undefined. Tab listeners get is undefined. Tab browser. Is it tab listeners? If let listener equals tab browser dot tab listeners dot get browser. If listener dot disable. Is it keyed off of, what is it, tab browser? Oh, it's off the tab, that's why. Off of the tab. Get a tab in the scope. Yeah, I have more logging in here for some reason. Updating tab label and icon. Here, gonna get rid of that. And what I really should have done is I should have also created a session, because I did a bad job of having one. So Reddit, I'm gonna go to my blog, and let's go to mozilla.org. These are our tabs. I'm gonna select the middle one. Okay, shut her down. Whoops, didn't mean to build. Restore. Yay, that will work. And then if I crash the background tab, or crash the tab, then these go into like quiet mode. That's probably not good. That's not exactly what I wanted. Okay, he's going to forever spinny. That's not exactly what I wanted, but I think we're on the right track. Hang on, I have to respond to someone in IRC. 1 second. Back to you about. Okay. So those background tabs, that's no good. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Because when we crash those background tabs, when those tabs crash, what do we do? In session store, browser crashed. When the browser crashes, then we need to reset state so we can try to restore it again when the browser revives tab from the crash. Resolve all. Set local tab restoring state. call when removing a tab when the tab needs to be reset. Put it into the pending state. Or we get rid of the pending state. Crash. On browser crashed. How did we do that thing where we like restore all, like background tab crash? I think that's what I want to look at. I think this has a blocking bug. Or crash. Maybe it was this one that I fixed. Yeah. Tabs that haven't yet restored should not crash. Force tab restoration on demand when crash tabs. Test for forcing revived. Force tab restoration on demand when crash tabs are revived. Restore tab. Force on demand. Revive crash tab. Why would we revive the crash tab? We revive the crash tab. Here and here. Here in tab browser, if we see that the browser's been crashed, then we immediately revive it. Okay, here's where we do the revival. We revive the crash tab and we restore it. And then when we restore it, right now, we disable the tab progress listeners. Which is why we never see that it's finished loading. We never see that it's finished restoring itself. Why do we put it into the busy state? That's what I want to know. Busy. Navigate and restore. We set it to busy. And we're doing some actually waiting for the data from the frame script. Is that what's doing it? Let's see. I'll crash the background tabs. Nope, they go busy for other reasons. I built, right? Did I build? Let me just double check. Yeah, they go into forever spinny. They go into forever spinny. Why? Why? busy, not duplicating. Well, what is that spinny? Let's, I'm gonna risk the browser toolbox. Or you know what I'll do is just have the browser toolbox, which seems to make it so that I sometimes crash. I'll use the browser console. So browser, gbrowser dot selected, tabs, and then choose the last tab. It's busy is true. So if I get rid of that set attribute busy to false, or hang on, what if I remove the attribute busy? Attribute busy. Yeah, that's the one. So for some reason the tab is busy. What made the tab busy is what I want to know. We updated its remoteness. And then we probably started to ignore messages from it. Okay. I think my original plan of maybe ignoring messages from background tabs is maybe flawed. Maybe not, though. Update browser remoteness. Is this the one that does the busy? Busy. Swap browser. Nope. Nope. Receive message. DOM title changed. Is it state change? Why would we? Yeah, maybe we get a state change. Interesting. I still think it's the right tactic. Or rather, try ignoring all messages from unrestored background tabs. Ignore all messages from unrestored background tabs. Alright, it's 2:29 right now. I'm gonna do one more experiment. I'm going to just do something kind of silly and quick. I'm going to expose a method called isPending for tab is pending and return tab dot has attribute pending. So really silly there. And then do I have? Yeah, I can call session store in here. Enable. Enabled. So instead of using this, we'll do enabled get enabled return this return session store dot is pending this dot m tab. So return not that. And then tab listener. I'm just gonna get rid of this. Get rid of that. This might be a little bit closer to what we want. Let's check the syntax graph for us. Let's restore. Alright, we got our tabs, we got our icons. This is all good. And then we crash. We still get these little spinnies. Why? Why? It's a mystery, but I think we're getting pretty close, folks. So I'm going to shelve this one for now. I think I'm going to can this episode. This episode mostly worked out. Let's see what we did. Looking back at the agenda. Didn't get to this review. I'll probably do it on my own today, this afternoon. Hang on, let me boost this up. We actually got pretty far along. We rebased Tim Talbert's patch and made it kind of work. And then we found out what was going wrong, at least with part of it. Or we've gotten down to the root of the problem in terms of why the icons are sometimes getting overwritten. So that's good. Now we just need to find the solution, the right solution, which is sometimes the best part, I always find. So sometimes I find the investigation is the fun part, and other times I feel like the solution is the best part. But there are two distinct parts, and right now we've gotten past the first part mostly, and we're in the second part. So, thank you for watching episode 54 of The Joy of Coding. That is it. Tell me what you thought of this episode. There's this rate this episode link here. It will take you to a form and it'll let you fill out this form here and let me know what you thought, whether or not there's anything I can do to make these episodes better for you. I want to know about it because this is for you. I want to do a shout out to all my other live hackers out there. There are a couple of links to other people who have live hacked, and not just hacking, but like they've done design in the open. There's some sheriffing. And we'd love to have more shows up on Air Mozilla. Whatever it is you're doing in the Mozilla community, I think it's awesome, and you should definitely stream it because people are interested. No matter if you think what you're doing is not interesting, I bet you someone does think it's interesting. So I think you should stream it. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Tracy, if you're watching this, the QA stuff you do might be very interesting to stream. Yeah, so I'm going to call it right there. Thank you so much for watching. This was episode 54. I will see you again next week. I don't believe I'll be skipping that episode or anything. So, fingers crossed. Take it easy. I invite you to follow me on Twitter so that you know up-to-the-minute show updates in case I do happen to have to cancel or something. But next week, I expect it should be A-OK. Anyways, thanks for watching episode 54 of The Joy of Coding. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.